In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I take raw footage like this and quickly turn it into that. Basically, I'm gonna show you my color grading technique for S-Log3, but also a different technique that I use specifically with footage that I shot on budget cameras like the Sony ZV-E10 and the A6400. Hey guys, my name is E. I'm a professional sports videographer with experience in the NBA, the NHL, the UFC, and the NFL. And the purpose of my YouTube channel is to give you the tools and knowledge necessary to jumpstart your very own sports videography careers. And today I want to achieve that by showing you my sports video color grading technique step by step. So I'm basically gonna color grade 4 clips with you today. The first two are both S-Log3 clips, but one is an indoor basketball game and the other one is a football game shot in broad daylight. I just thought it would be valuable to show you the difference, but either way, the next clip is going to be from a basketball game I shot in the HLG2 picture profile with a Sony A6400 camera. And the last one will be from a rugby game shot at night under big stadium lights in the Cine 2 picture profile with a Sony ZV-E10 camera. So without further ado, let's get into it. First off, you might already know if you follow my channel that I edit in Premiere Pro. And today will not be any different. But everything I'm about to do is pretty basic and can be done on any editing platform that lets you import custom LUTs. Anyway, here are my two S-Log3 clips, and the first thing I always do with all my S-Log3 footage is apply a utility LUT, the same one I use in camera to monitor my exposure. I use the same LUT every time, which comes from the Phantom LUTs collection. I'll put a link in the description in case you're interested in checking it out, but it's not an affiliate link or anything. I don't know the guy who created these LUTs. All I know is that he's from Australia and his LUTs are extremely popular with Sony users especially. So as I was saying, I always start by applying a utility LUT to my footage. And then once my edit is done, I do a little bit of color correction and finish with a color grade. So in the case of this particular clip, looking at my scope, I can see that it needs a touch of extra exposure. Keep in mind that you don't want your whites to clip, so try to keep them slightly below the 100 mark on the scope. And you don't want your blacks to clip either, so try to keep those just above 0. Everything else is just a question of slightly adjusting the shadows, highlights, contrast maybe, also colors, to achieve a result that looks as realistic as possible, shows as much detail as possible, and looks as crisp and clean as possible. Unfortunately, I don't have an exact recipe for this. It really depends on your footage, on the lighting situation, and a few other things. But one thing's for sure, the more you nail your exposure in camera, the less you'll need to adjust in post. Anyway, it looks good to me, so the last thing I'll do is apply a grade using a creative LUT from my Ultimate Sports LUT pack. If you don't know already, my pack includes 12 different creative LUTs built with various sports scenarios in mind. Like the all-day LUT for broad daylight, the YMCA LUT for poorly lit gyms, and the MSG LUT for big indoor arenas. This LUT pack costs only $38.99, but stay tuned because I may or may not give away a promo code later on in this video that will reduce this price significantly. But before we get there, I do want to take this opportunity to explain the difference between a utility LUT and a creative LUT. Utility LUTs are also often called conversion LUTs, and their purpose is mainly to correct log footage back to a Rec. 709 standard. It is basically a roadmap built for a specific picture profile and color space that interprets that footage to then bring the colors, the contrast, the brightness, and all the technical details back to where they should normally be. Creative LUTs, on the other hand, are not technical at all. They are more so about aesthetics and style. Creative LUTs are often used to create certain film looks or emotional atmospheres, so basically their sole purpose is to make your footage look cool in a very creative but also subjective way. Alright, so now that this is all cleared up, let's apply a creative LUT to our clip. I want to try the role player LUT for this. It should look good because this LUT looks good on pretty much anything with the right intensity, of course. This is why it's called the role player LUT. It sort of adjusts well to a whole bunch of situations. So I think it should fit well here. And you know what? Let's go crazy and add a second creative LUT to stylize this even more. I'll give it a subtle vintage look with my Hall of Famer LUT. And while we're at it, let's also add some faded film adjustment to complete the look. When it comes to this daylight clip in S-Log3, the process is exactly the same, except that I like to be very careful with my highlights because of the sky. Normally with indoor sports, I often push my highlights up, but with outdoors, I will definitely take them down. Otherwise, this clip is pretty close to perfect as far as exposure is concerned, so there's not that much to color correct. But I'm thinking that with the color of the uniforms and the turf, my Team Pride LUT would look pretty cool, I think, so let's find out. Alright, enough with this bougie S-Log3 content, and let's move on to the lowdown and dirty world of budget cameras. This is a clip that I filmed in a very poorly lit gym with a Sony a6400 camera in 1080p 8-bit color with an HLG2 picture profile. So let's see what we can do with it. With 8-bit footage, you definitely don't want to push the exposure in post too much, because if you do, your image quality will fall apart very quickly. So I'm gonna make only slight adjustments, and hopefully my YMCA LUT will be able to take this baby home. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. My last clip was filmed at night under big stadium lights with a Sony ZV-E10 camera in 1080p 8-bit color and a Cine 2 picture profile. So again, I'm not gonna play with a whole lot of settings. I'm just gonna adjust the blacks, the contrast, and the saturation to then simply add my favorite LUT, the MVP LUT, which is available for free on my website, by the way. So if you like what you've seen so far from my Ultimate Sports LUT pack, well, you'll be happy to learn that there is a 25% discount on it right now and for the next 2 weeks. So to access the discount, simply click on the link in the description or go directly to my website beyondthegame.tv and use the promo code SPORTLUT25 at checkout. But keep in mind that 2 weeks goes by very quickly, so don't wait for too long. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.